Yo, what's up, YouTube? We are back with another video here, and we got my first mock draft 1.0. I know we're still in the playoffs. The season's still going on, NFL playoffs, which have been good, by the way. But you guys know I am an NFL draft nerd, and this is like my favorite time of the year, NFL, NBA draft. I'm just a huge nerd when it comes to the drafts. And I just love studying. I love studying the players, watching film, all of that. So I would like to say so far, this is only going to be round one, by the way, but I'm just trying to get my knowledge within the later rounds. Maybe I'm trying to get that knowledge up a little bit. So I would say my knowledge is pretty up there for like round 1 to 3, but after that it gets a little iffy. So I'm trying to. If you guys want a full 7 round mock draft, it is not going to be in this video. I'm just doing round one. Maybe I could like live stream that if you guys want to see like a full 7 round draft. But anyways, let's just get into it. First pick. If you guys watched my last Bears video, you guys know that I'm going to go with Caleb Williams. I think you cannot pass up on Caleb Williams, if you're the Bears. I already made a whole video about that, so I'm not going to sit here and talk too much about it. I already made a video, so if you guys want to know about that, just go watch that. And with the second pick, I think the Washington Commanders are going to select Drake May. Although I don't think Sam Howell is a bad quarterback, but I think when you have the second pick here, and I also think Drake May is a generational talent on top of Caleb Williams. I think in any other, like the last like 2-3 drafts, Drake May would go number one. But unfortunately, he's just in a draft with Caleb Williams, and I think it's just overshadowing him a bit. But you guys will see when the season starts. Drake May is legit. Oh, by the way, I'm not doing any trades on here because that would just take too long, seeing the picks and all that, just balancing the trade, all that. It would just be too much. So this is actually a pick that I think the Patriots should look to trade back on. I don't think not Jaden McDaniels. Sorry, I'm watching too much basketball. Jaden Daniels, I do not think that I wouldn't select him at 3 because I don't think these next few teams would select a quarterback. But I don't know. It might be too risky. You might just want to draft your franchise guy here. But realistically, I could see the Patriots trading back. But like I said, no trades in this draft. And they're going to be selecting Jaden Daniels with the third pick. All right, next up, my Arizona Cardinals. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know who the hell I want. It's my profile picture on Twitter. This is a no-brainer. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an Arizona Cardinal. If this happens, I will be so happy. You guys don't even know. All right, next up, Brock Bowers to the Chargers. I absolutely love this fit. I do think they could go Malik Neighbors here, but honestly, they drafted Quentin Johnson last year, and obviously you guys saw how that went. Looking like a bust, but honestly, I think they select Brock Bowers here. You guys know I'm super, super high on Brock Bowers. I talk about him in my live streams on Twitch a lot when, people ask me. And I think this is a generational tight end prospect, honestly. And I got the Chargers selecting him. Next up, New York Giants. I don't think they go quarterback here. I think they give Daniel Jones one more year, see how he comes back off the ACL injury and all that. But I think they go Malik Neighbors here. They need another receiver. They need a true wide receiver one. They selected Jalen Hyatt. He showed a little bit towards the end of the year, but they don't have a true wide receiver one yet. So I think Malik Neighbors is the pick there. Next up, the Tennessee Titans. I do think they want to beef up their O-line for Will Levis. I know they drafted Peter Skoronski last year, but I think they go Joe Alt here. I think Joe Alt is the best offensive lineman in this draft class. Dude's legit, dude. 6'8", 320, 315, 320. I believe it's 315. 6'8", 315. Dude's a fucking beast. Yeah. Tennessee Titans go Joe Alt here. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons. I think if Michael Penix, I don't think they go Michael Penix here just because of the medicals, and I think that's going to drop his draft stock a little bit. So I do think that the Atlanta Falcons they're leaning more towards like trading for a guy like Justin Fields or like Kirk Cousins, Mac Jones, something like that. So I think they go best edge rusher in the draft here, and they go Dallas Turner out of Alabama. I think that's a good spot for Dallas Turner, honestly. I think if the Falcons get an edge rusher, they're scary, and I don't know. I really like the Falcons. Hopefully they get like Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel. We'll see about that. But next up, the Chicago Bears. Obviously, earlier in the draft they selected Caleb Williams, and I think they go Rome Odunze here. That is so scary. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. That's a scary team, and I would not want, like, the Bears' future is scary. That's insane. Anyways, next up, I got the New York Jets selecting the second best offensive lineman in the draft class, and I think that is Olu Fashanu here. The Jets need an offensive lineman. I think if Rome Odunze somehow, maybe the Bears want to beef up their O-line for Caleb, I could see these picks swapping right here. I think if Olu is here for the Jets, they take him. But also if Rome Odunze is here, they're going to take him as well. Kind of in a similar spot right here. Both these teams need, wide receiver twos, but they also need offensive linemen. I think they're in a very similar situation right there. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings. I also do think this is a team that could draft a quarterback. I'm thinking here they go Jerzon Newton or they go Nate Wiggins, but I think they're going to go Jerzon Newton. This is the best defensive lineman in the class, interior defensive lineman in the class, and I think that's where they go here. The Denver Broncos. I do not think they select a quarterback here. Obviously, as of right now, it's Jared Stidham as their quarterback. I also think the Denver Broncos are a team that could trade for like Justin Fields or Mac Jones, or draft a guy in the later rounds, maybe like a JJ McCarthy or something. But I think here they will go a wide receiver, and I do think they select Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. I think that's a good spot for him. Brian Thomas Jr. is honestly so underrated. If you guys don't know about Brian Thomas Jr., he kind of got overshadowed because he was Malik Neighbors' teammate, but I don't know, man. I really like Brian Thomas Jr. All right, here we got the Raiders, also another team that could select a quarterback, but I just don't think that they're going to pick him here. And I do think this is a very good spot. This is where I think Penix could start to get picked. Like, I think this is the earliest where Penix will get picked, but I'm not selecting him here. I think the Raiders give Aiden O'Connell one more year, and they beef up their O-line. They select the right tackle out of Oregon State, Talais Fuaga. I think I said his first name right. Hopefully I did. But I think they select him there. And then we got the New Orleans Saints. I do think they go Jared Verse here out of Florida State. Very, very good edge rusher, and I think they beef up their defense right there. I do not think they select a quarterback. I know it says right here the needs is a quarterback, but they signed Derek Carr to a pretty big deal, and I don't think they select one here. So I think they go Jared Verse. The Indianapolis Colts. I do think they are the first team to take a corner off the board, and I think the best corner in this draft class is Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. Solid frame. He does need to put on some weight. He's about 6'2", 6'3", but he's like I think they said 185, something like that, 180, 185. He needs to beef up a little bit, but I do think he is the best corner in this draft, and I think they go Nate Wiggins. Next up, The Seattle Seahawks. This is where I think Penix goes. I think Seattle saw Geno Smith a little bit of. I think they saw a little bit of a decline with Geno Smith here, and I think they select Michael Penix right here. And honestly, that's a solid destination for Michael Penix. Obviously, Seattle's in Washington, and that's not why I have them picking him. But I just think, seeing how Geno played it a little bit last year, you saw a little bit of a fall off. I think they do select Michael Penix, have him sit 1 year behind Geno, and then maybe the next year he takes over. That's where I have Michael Penix going. Next up, we got Jacksonville Jaguars. I think absolutely they got to select a corner here, and I have them selecting Kool-Aid. I do like Terrion Arnold, but I think Kool-Aid is the better fit here for Jacksonville. And I think there's a lot of good corners on here, but I think Kool-Aid is the better fit for Jacksonville. Here, I think this is the perfect destination for J.C. Latham. Cincinnati wants to beef up their O-line, protect Joe Burrow a little bit. And J.C. Latham, that's honestly tremendous value for the 18th pick, J.C. Latham. And I think that's a solid destination for him. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams. I think they go Terrion Arnold here. I know you guys are probably like, oh, Cooper DeJean. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I think he's the fourth best corner out of I think he'll be the fourth corner selected. I don't know. I watched the tape, man. I just don't. I know he can play. He's like a Swiss Army knife, and he can play anywhere. But I don't think he's going to be a corner in the NFL. I think he's going to be more of a safety. And I don't know. I don't think that's what the Rams are going for, and that's why I have them selecting Terrion Arnold over Cooper DeJean. But next up, I do have Cooper DeJean going to the Steelers because I think the Steelers could just use any secondary help, and they're going to go Cooper DeJean here. I think that's more of a fit. I do think Cooper DeJean is sort of going to fall. Not really, but I think he's going to be the fourth corner selected. And I don't know, man. I'm just higher on the other guys. Next up, we got Miami. I think they go Amarius Mims here. Beef up that O-line. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they could go lots of places here. Latu is still on the board, but that's not really a fit for him. I think they could trade this pick, honestly. If it gets to this point, I don't think they draft receiver. I don't know why the needs say receiver. Honestly, I'm going to have them select best player available here. I think that's what the Eagles always do. They don't really draft for fit, and they always just draft the best player available. And I think that's why they go Latu here. I do think Latu could turn out to be the best edge rusher in this draft class. But the injury history, I believe he had a very serious neck injury, which caused him to miss like a year or two. And similar to Penix, I think that's why their draft stock is going to drop a little bit. But we'll see. This is only my first mock draft, so we'll see. Next up, we got the Houston Texans. I think they go wide receiver here. Let's filter this out. And I think they go Keon Coleman here. I know some people are kind of not too high on Coleman because his stats weren't as good. But I'm still high on the skill set. I think he's going to be a solid player. And I still think he's like a top 4 wide receiver in this draft class. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys. This might be a reach here, but I think for fit, the Dallas Cowboys need to get Xavier Worthy. I know some people have him going like early second, late. I mean, we are late first, but still, I know people like Adonai Mitchell over him, but I'm just talking about fit, and I think Xavier Worthy on the Cowboys fits so perfectly. I absolutely love that pick. All right, how do we go back to all? There we go. All right. Next up, we got the Packers on the clock. I think they're going to go edge, honestly. It's not a need on there, but I'm not really looking at that too much because some of these are just not accurate. I don't think the Packers would draft a running back. I don't know why that's top on their needs, but I think they go Chris Braswell here out of Alabama. The Tampa Bay Bucks. I think Mike Evans leaves, so they try to get his replacement a little bit, and I think that's where they go Adonai Mitchell here out of Texas, and I honestly really like that fit. Kind of a high point guy, kind of could replace Mike Evans a little bit there. And we got the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know. I don't know where we go here. I think Braylon Trice would honestly be solid here. I would not mind Braylon Trice, but more of a need here. I think we go this corner out of Missouri, and I think this would be solid. I think this would be solid here. Honestly, I would trade back because I think Ennis Rakestraw, I think we could get this guy probably early second, and that's why I do think we could trade back. But we're going to select him here. Obviously, I said no trades. Next up, obviously, Kansas City's got to take a wide receiver here. I think they go Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey is honestly so underrated. He was injured, but I like the fit, honestly, in Kansas City. I actually really, really like that fit. Next up, we got Buffalo. I also think they go wide receiver here. I'm not going to go Troy Franklin. I know you guys are probably wondering, how is Troy Franklin still on the board? Xavier Leggetti, I think is how you say it. This guy is fucking legit. Please go watch the tape on this guy. This guy is just a speed demon. He's fucking an all-around wide receiver. I think this dude's... Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like a top 3 wide receiver in the class. This dude is that good. Next up, we got Detroit. I think this is another team that could use a wide receiver, and I think they're going to go Troy Franklin here. I know I'm selecting so many wide receivers, but, I mean, a lot of teams need their wide receivers. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers. I think they go Jordan Morgan. They need to beef up that O-line. That O-line is fucking garbage, dude. The San Francisco 49ers O-line is absolutely horrendous. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens, probably the Super Bowl champs. I think they go Braylon Trice. I think they go the best player available here. I think that's why they go Braylon Trice. And that's pretty much it for round 1. This is barely my first mock draft. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will probably make like maybe about 3 or 4 of these leading up to the draft. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these NFL playoffs. But yeah, see you guys. Peace.